This is Goku Sun DBZ, and welcome back for a new album review. This time I am going to be reviewing one of my personal favorite rock albums of all time, or rock alternative album, with that said, and of course it's of the shirt I am wearing right now, and if you can't read, it says A Perfect Circle. And with that said, it's of course easily my favorite of the three albums from the band. That is the 13th Step. In my opinion, maybe about the best alternative rock album, definitely of the 2000s, hands down, no rival. This album is quite incredible, released in 2003, towards the end, September. Incredible album, and I will say, each song, there's certain signature sound. Now, the album starts off with a track called The Package. Really good, overall solid sound, and definitely gets you in the mood, and very much of what you can expect in the album as a whole. It definitely sets the tone and the mood just right for it. And next we have track number 2, which in my opinion is probably easily in my top, of course, 5 if not top 3 favorite tracks off this album as a whole. I am rather glad and surprised at how well known this track is. This is probably easily one of their best well known tracks from their 3 albums. And that is the song Weak and Powerless. Now, if you immediately just listen to the album, you might think it's a song about dealing with like a substance or like I guess you could say drug addiction, but it was actually in an interview stated by members of A Perfect Circle, but this song was about weak and powerless suffering addiction of any kind, they said, whether it be drugs or illegal, legal things like, for instance, caffeine, which people are addicted to, sugar, or for other people, things like, of course, pornography. But the point is, Weak and Powerless is a song that was designed to relate to anybody that may have something in life that they struggle with. And every one of us, regardless, some of us which have never touched drugs or anything like that in our lives, there may be things in life that we are addicted to. It doesn't have to be a substance to be addictive. That's something I think a lot of people fail to understand. But overall, it helps the song become, I think that's one of the reasons though why it's better well known, because people can relate to the song in some form, meaning one or the other. Track number 3 is called The Noise. It's one of the more forgettable tracks for me personally off this album, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a good song. It's another overall good song from A Perfect Circle. It's just not a top tier song for me personally, but to each their own. There are going to be songs that connect easier with some people, other types of songs may connect better with other people. That's just how it is. Because everyone has opinions, whether we like it or not. Coming in at number 4, I would dare say this is in my top 5 favorite songs off this album. And there's multiple different remixes of this song as well. It has a really cool and unique feel and sound, but it also at the same time has kind of this smooth feeling to this music. It's called Blue. It is overall just a really well done, really well executed song. And I just love the instrumental experimentation and things. I think this song really comes out more than some of the other songs of the album with that more experimentation musical style to it, which really does help the band shine, honestly. That's one of the reasons why I love The Perfect Circle. There's a reason why they're called alternative, because they try a lot of different things you won't find in most standardized, like rock, hard rock, and things of that nature. Alternative is willing to do a little more experimenting with their sound and style, and that's why I respect this band as a whole. Coming in at track number 5 is called Vanishing. Another okay 50-50 track for me, like The Noise. As I said, to each their own, but this track is still a solid track overall, even though it's not one that specifically really catches my attention. I can't really say anything overall bad about really any of the tracks off this album as a whole. That's why it's easily one of my favorite albums of all time, in all honesty. Next up is track number 6. It's called A Stranger. Now, this is when the album starts, I guess you could say, picking up or kicking up a notch in the hardness and overall harder rock sound that you would kind of expect from the band, given some of the tracks from the previous album. Up till now on the album, there hasn't been really any hard songs overall. It's been mostly very smooth, and collective overall. Nothing is wrong with that, obviously, but it's nice to then hear the album pick up a pace. And this is really the first, I think, of 2 specific tracks that really give an extra punch to the sound of the album as a whole. Though it's still a good song, it's another song that's somewhere in between for me. Next up is maybe, for me personally, my second favorite track off this entire album as a whole. And that is the song called The Outsider. This song is by far the hardest song off the album. I love The Outsider. And the only thing positive I can give to Resident Evil Afterlife is I liked the remix of this track. And that's the only thing positive I can say about Resident Evil Afterlife. That's it. I am glad at least I helped get more people into the mainstream to actually check out A Perfect Circle, because it was about damn time that honestly they get a little bit of respect from the mainstream. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people have already forgotten, even though their music is by far superior to most rock music of today. And there is no challenging that. Coming in at number 8 is another song that's a little 50-50 with me, called Crimes. It's another good song overall, well executed of course, which I expect nothing less. Then we have track number 9, The Nurse Who Loved Me. This track also, of course, these are bringing a little bit lighter tone back to the album as a whole to end it on a softer tone. So it's around the midpoint when it really picks up and reaches its spike in the hard sound overall. But these are still good tracks, but they feel a little weak after the last couple of tracks. But that's just, as I said, my opinion. Track number 10, we have Pet. Now this is actually a really good track. This would probably be would just barely not be in my top 5 tracks, probably number 6. But this is a track I very much enjoy overall. And I can't say anything negative about, of course I can't really say anything negative for the most part, of this album as a whole. But it's overall another solid, very well executed, excellent sounding track. Coming in at number 11, very much lighter, smooth sound, which is perfect going towards the end of this album as a whole. And that song would be Lullaby. Another very good, strong, executed song from A Perfect Circle. But that's really, their music in general is always solid, well done. And production value has always been good with their albums. Specifically, this album as a whole stands out from the other two. And next we have, to close off the album, maybe my number one favorite song off this album, and my number one personal favorite song from the band as a whole. And that is the song Gravity, which is so relaxing and just so smooth, like liquid. I mean, it's just insane how beautiful the sound is. It's kind of hard to describe, honestly, the overall sound and style. And that goes with a lot of music from A Perfect Circle, for the most part. It's kind of hard to describe their style because it's very experimental and very unique compared to most other rock music out there. Especially in, like, though you will find a variety in alternative, A Perfect Circle stands, I feel, at the top of the mountain of alternative rock or rock in general. And I am thrilled about the confirmation of a 4th studio album coming out soon from A Perfect Circle, as well as finally a new album from Tool as well. So, 2 great bands with both the same great frontman. One of the best in rock music, period. With that said, I'll cut up this review. Tell me personally, what is your favorite A Perfect Circle song? What's your favorite album? Or perhaps, do you prefer Tool over A Perfect Circle? And so, give me a reason why it is that you prefer about Tool over A Perfect Circle. And if so, like me, you love Perfect Circle, it'd be nice to honestly hear from fellow fans of this incredibly well done, solid overall, amazingly super talented group that frankly just doesn't get enough respect they deserve. Because overall, this was a little bit of discussion, review of A Perfect Circle and their album, The 13th Step. And I'll see you all next time for some other videos I'm working on. Top 5 fighters coming your way soon enough. The last special countdown list to end, of course, Killer Instinct Month. I'll see you then.